everyone to yet another conversation that I plan to have with my co-author of Power of Why, Shweta Jain. So I'm really excited to share Shweta's story with you here today. Shweta is passionate about counseling curvy women with image consulting, and I really want to know more about how she does it and what are the things she encounters. So without further delay, I will welcome Shweta to the conversation. Hi, Shweta.
Hi, Vinny. Thank you. And I'm very glad to have an interview with you. So I'll
Thank you.
just tell you what I said.
Sure, sure.
Sorry.
Thank you for making the time and for coming on this interview. So yes,
I'm
tell
very
us
glad.
tell us about what you do and also what led you to doing this. Share your why with us.
Okay, so I help curvy women come out of the feeling of lack that they deal with every time, every moment, in their personal and professional life. The reason I came up with something like this because I dealt with it personally. I think I went through it. I had nobody to talk to, and I came out with different ways to come out of it, and now I'm very confident about the way I carry myself, both personally and professionally, because that is very important. And with my personal experience and doing few classes which helped me come out of it, I try and get people to be more confident. I focus on women because I think women feel very vulnerable and they are very conscious about the way they look. So and it's not about the looks at all, is what my point of view is.
That's so true. Like I often say that it's not about how good looking you are, it's about how good you look. And how good you look has got nothing to do with your appearance as such or with your genetics. It's really got everything to do with your actions, with the way you present yourself and the way you carry yourself. So I think that's a wonderful thing. So often we miss these signs or we miss these concerns in people. And also what I've noticed is sometimes when you're battling something yourself, you tend to also miss that other people could be battling the same. So it's really nice that when you say that it was a journey you experienced and you went through this personally and had no one to talk to, that today you want to build and bridge that gap for others so that they can work work on it, they can cope with it, and they have someone to talk to. So that's really nice and very different and interesting insight.
Right. And also because I can relate to people, right? I know what they feel. It
Yes.
makes it easier to deal with people.
Yes, I'm sure sometimes I think we've all heard that in our low phases at different times, that I understand how you feel. And sometimes when you know that this person hasn't gone through the same thing, you're like, no, you don't.
Right.
It's not the same,
Yes.
obviously. So I totally
True.
get it. And I think it's wonderful that you're doing this and helping all the women out there. So tell us
Yes.
now, how would you, given that you thought of something that impacted you and then you decided to make it as your full-time occupation, right? And you started your business. How would you encourage other women to take a leap and feel empowered to start their own business?
I think it's very important if you think that will help others. If you are with that thought that, your action or your business could help anybody else, start it. Don't think about it. And if you have the right intention, it only has positives with you, monetary plus emotionally. And the feeling of helping somebody is more than anything else that you can think of. So I think you have to go with that vibe and everything falls in place.
That's very nice. So, what you say is that start by thinking how you can help somebody. And if you're thinking about helping someone, everything else, emotional and financial, will also fall into place. So, interesting. And I think that's really nice. Yeah, it's true. All businesses start with a problem statement. And if you can cater to that,
Right.
then you're on the right track. So now we're going to do a little bit of fun thing and cater to our social media audience. So for
Okay.
our Instagram audience, could you share any one fun or memorable experience that you've had uh, in the course of your business and in this journey that you've taken?
So, yes, the funniest part was like, I said curvy women's, right? And then I met a lady who was like completely like, idle looking person, like, uh, who the men would wow and would say, ki, wow, this is the person I'm looking for. And when she came to me and she said that she was going through a lot of self confidence problem, I for me to explain her was very, very different. um, and I said, why? She said, I think everybody thinks I would be one of the happiest person, but inside out I am not the one that people think. And I think the journey with her was very different and like nice. So
Don't you think that would have been really also heartwarming in many ways, because you may have stemmed from a place, like you said, when you were dealing with your issues of,
right,
being curvy, and a lot of times we feel that we are the only ones who are dealing with it, and then you realize that sometimes maybe dealing with these things is more an internal thing than an external thing, and it is not about the looks. So
true,
I
true.
think, yeah, that would have been really moving for you too, or on a personal level.
Yes.
Was it moving for you? How did you feel about it, that here you were thinking that curvy women needed it, or that you felt you had that journey, and then there was someone who was so ideal, who was going through
Right.
similar emotions?
I think it just made my belief stronger on saying that looks doesn't matter. It's the thought that you carry, and that is the way your life moves. Okay. So obviously, I learned a lot with this person, but along with it, I also, my beliefs became much, much stronger, saying that it's all about the way you look at life.
Very nice. I think that's a good quote actually. Looks don't matter. It's about the thoughts you carry, and your life moves in
Yes.
that direction.
Right.
Lovely. So now for our Facebook audience, tell us, what's the one business value you stand by that you will not compromise on?
I think being truthful to the people I deal with, it is very, very important. Even if I think it could hurt him in a shorter duration, but good for the person, I will go and do it. I would not look at a short term ease for a long term pain. I will not deal with that.
Okay.
So being
Okay.
truthful is very, very important.
Okay. Nice. And now for our LinkedIn audience, have you seen any change in your business and the way it's done after, obviously, what everything that we've experienced currently and with the new normal? And if there is, how are you planning to adapt to the new normal in business?
So, I was doing a lot of individual one-to-one, sessions with the people. But I realized that I could do also a smaller group sessions, which could, I know few places like, because it's very individual, but in the initial stage, it's more broad-based. So you can start with, uh, group sessions and then take it forward to individual if they require. So, because what happens, people learn from each other's experience. I don't need to quote. When people come up at one stage and deal with the problems, it makes it much easier to understand others' point of view as well. So, bringing virtually, and now with the virtual thing, you can get people across the globe at one platform. So, I think it's just making the world closer than dealing with problems, is what I feel right now.
Nice, nice. That's really lovely. Well, thank you so much for coming on this interview, this show, and giving us your pointers, sharing your vibe with us. I'm really happy you could make the time, and I'm sure our audience is going to enjoy listening to this conversation.
Thank you, Annie. I'm glad and I'm very thankful to you for giving me this time.
The
And you've
pleasure
been
is all.
a great co-author.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise, and we are excited because
Yeah.
it's going to be launched.
Yes.
It's now exactly a month from now, 15th August.
Yes.
So, Shweta,
15th of August. Yes.
yes. So tell us, if our audience needs to reach out to you, where can they find you?
Right. So they can find me on Facebook. I'm also available on LinkedIn. And, I give personal sessions on Zoom link, which I share according to my calendar, so that's
Okay,
where they
so
can reach.
can they just look for Shweta Jain on Facebook? And or is
Yes.
there a queue to narrow down that search? Because I think there'll be
And
many Shwetas.
also, I think LinkedIn is much better
Okay.
because that is by Shweta N. Jain, is what you
Shweta
can look
and Jain.
at. Yes.
Okay, great. So I think that's where we should reach Shweta. For all those of you who'd like to see her journey, follow her, and perhaps even see if she can be able to help you. So thank you once again, Shweta.